First of all, thank you once again for attending GSL 24. It's another benchmark event in the history of this event itself. I'm going to run through the sponsor and trade show participant list and then turn it over to the next presenter. So this year's sponsors and trade show participants for GSL 24 are Paula Agnostopoulos, Dennis Barker, Andy Barlow, Mike Barlow, Damon Bell, Kirk Bell, Mark Benton, Pat Babeau, Byron and Avenel Bowman, Mark Brown, Kalniga Castings, Gordon Clark, Calvin and Nancy Crouch, Randy Durr, Jim Devine, Dick Engar, Mike Felix, Tom Geiger, Jeremiah Gladstone, Phil Gladstone, Don Graham, excuse me, Gary Grassman, John Grazula, Mark S. and Janet Gustafson, Jim Haught, Bill Heim, Help You Mail, Scott Hess, Dale and Pat Horner, Hot Cars Magazine, Greg Hutchings, Inktware, International Model Car Builders Museum, Invent Apart Inc., Renee Kellen, David King, Lynn Coburna, Custom and Hot Rod Models Magazine, George Layton, Dave Lindsay, Little Motor Car Company, Vince Labosco, Michael Ludwall, M&S Hobbies, Max Modeling, Jim McKinney, Memphis Metroplex Car Modelers Association, Mike Graff Publications International, Mill City Replicas, Randy Austin, Model Car Builder Magazine, Model Cars Magazine, Moonlight Modelers Club of Phoenix, Greg Nichols, NNL East, Steve Perry, Phase 3 Design and Publishing, Les Priest, ProTech, Publications International, Ram Radio Controlled Models Inc., Replicas and Miniatures of Maryland, Revell Monogram, Steve Rollier, Round 2, Scale Auto Magazine, Scale Finishes, Scale Hardware, Scale Motorsport, Ed Sexton, SoCal Car Culture, Tham Socacho, Roy Sorensen, Tammy Stockton, Don Strong, Superior Paint Supply Inc., Town of Newburgh Model Car Club, Tri-State Model Car Club, Trustees of the GSL Championship, Walter Tuss, Utah Model Automotive Guild, Windfall Software, and Len Woodruff. Please give a round of applause and thanks to all of our sponsors. I'm going to now turn this over to Paula Agnostopoulos, who has a presentation to make.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm here to represent Tri-State Scale Model Car Club. We put on the NNLE show every year, and we try to make a donation to the museum. This year, we had so many people there that it was insane. And so I am happy to say that on behalf of the Tri-State Scale Model Car Club and the NNLE show, we will be presenting the museum with a check for $2,500. Yes. Oh, right, the photo.
I need you over here because I got to make a presentation. So, well, the Metroplex Car Modelers have sponsored a lot of things at the show, and we have a couple awards coming up that we'll do. But we also voted to sponsor a check for the amount of $250 to the Model Car Museum. So, there you go. There you go.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. I'll turn it over to this fellow.
As you know, GSL hosts individual awards from outside sponsors, magazines, individuals, clubs, and so forth. And I'd like to start off with listing these traditional awards. We don't have time to bring the plaques up, but names are affixed to these plaques recognizing the winners each year. So I'd first like to turn the time to Len Woodruff for the MCMA Klingon Cruiser Award for 2013. Len? Yes, you will.
I was at the museum yesterday, and I wanted to get a little history on the Klingon Cruiser Award, because I wasn't around in the early years when it was invented, or whoever the person was, and I don't have some of our older members here to ask that, but I did notice that the first award appeared to be in 1983. So this award appears to be the 30th year, even though we haven't had this contest every single year. There's been 30 years since this award had started. Am I right about that? Okay. And so one of the things about this award, and I've seen people, because I've been here 7 times now, seen people build for this award. And while I don't think this particular person that we're going to award it to today built for this award, I think he is the perfect person to get this award. And so I'd like to present the award for the Klingon Cruiser for GSL 2013 to John Teresi for his Freak Show.
Cool. Thanks, Len. Thanks, MCMA. Many of you may remember the excellent builder Ricky Couch, who built show rods, and he passed away a few years ago. He was a close friend of some folks at back east and with Scale Out Enthusiasts, which has presented the Ricky Couch Show Rod Award, and I'm honored that Jim Hout asked me to present this. So, the 2013 Ricky Couch Show Rod Award goes to John Teresi for his 49 Mercury Rising. One of the oldest awards at the show is the Molokars Magazine Best Use of Color as a Design Element. And I'd like to turn this to Paul Nagastopoulos to present this award.
So I'm representing Model Cars Magazine to present the award. This is the best use of color as part of the theme of the model, as opposed to simply the best paint job. And this year, I'm happy to say that it goes to Steve Molenkamp for Rain Man.
Greg Wills, that one. Tell him that. Coming from Greg. One of the oldest awards we have here is in recognition of Bob Barnett. The older of the participants here will recognize him as a leading early advocate of replica custom car building in scale. A great guy. He was one of the very earliest participants and supporters of GSL. We're fortunate years ago to have had MCMA step in again to sponsor the Bob Barnett Memorial Award. And Len, if you'd come back up and present that, please.
I was at the museum again yesterday, so I told you that earlier. But in the museum are a couple of, I think, the iconic ideas of what Bob Barnett built: the copper cart and the dream trunk. Didn't he build the dream? Okay. So if you saw those, if you went to the museum, that's the flavor that we're looking for. And so this year, I asked Mark to help me because I'm not really an excellent custom guy like he is. And so this year, the club has chosen Jerry Cardinal's 49 Mercury as the Bob Barnett Awards.
Jerry, your name will go on the plaque over there. About a half dozen years ago, the Good Guys Rod and Custom Association, through Mike Carroll, who was their, I think then and still is their model car contest director for the Western United States, inaugurated the Good Guys Rod and Custom Association Model to Elegance Award for that street rod or custom that best exemplifies a kind of elegance in design and execution. We've asked Bill Helm to come up and present the award this year.
It's my honor to be here representing Mike Carroll and Good Guys. This year, the award for the Good Guys Model de Elegance goes to Greg Nichols for his backdraft.
Hey, your name will be over on the plaque over there too. In 1984, Ed Roth came to GSL and presented a seminar and hung with us for a few days, and that was a memorable experience. I did an interview with him that was published in Scale Auto, and he became a deep museum supporter after that, donating a lot of items to us. We therefore inaugurated the Ed Roth Memorial Award, and would like to turn the time to Bob Wick to make this presentation.
Okay. So the award is not for building a model of an Ed Roth car, but it's for building a vehicle in the style that Ed Roth would have built it. So this year, the winner of the Ed Roth Memorial Award is John Teresi for Cyclops.
No. Again, many of the older participants, more vintage participants here. I like to think of myself in that group, along with Andy Martin. Andy's an old friend. You may remember Andy Callan. He was affectionately known as the Moose. He was the genial fellow who walked around with the moose hat and entertained and acted as the first GSL ambassador to our hobby. He passed a number of years ago, and it was a great loss to all of us, including to his wife, Renee, who has continued to be a great supporter. Andy and Renee came up to GSL 3. Andy came first, Renee showed up to GSL 4, and they participated ever since. Renee has been to every GSL since 1985. And so we have sponsored now for a few years what we call the Moose is Loose Award, which is presented to that person that best exemplifies a genial atmosphere in a hobby who is an ambassador for the goodwill of this hobby, and would like to turn the time to Renee to make this presentation.
Okay, first of all, we need to complete a little unfinished business. 4 years ago, we didn't have the awards done, which we never do at this contest, but someone has not received his Moose's Loose Award. So at this time, I would like to present Jim Fernandez with his Moose's Loose Award. 2009. Okay, now on to this year's. And you know, we always have fun with this one, trying to figure this one out, and Pat's my helper here too. But just bear with me on this one. This body leaves the eastern seaboard, much to the relief of all Easterners, and descends on Salt Lake City and GSL, much to the chagrin of all attendees. Harassment abounds for 4 days, and the attendees breathe a large sigh of relief that the roles are reversed as this body departs GSL for the East. This body has been a major supporter of GSL and its insanity for many years and deserves the Moose Award for 2013. The Town of Newburgh Model Car Club. No, they didn't.
Representative.
Okay, come on, guys.
Come on, Mike.
Only one hat, and we have decided the person that gets to wear it is Vince.
Vince.
You guys are great. Our final private award, again, this one sponsored by GSL, is in honor of Augie Hiscano. If you have any knowledge of the history of our museum or attended the mid-years of GSL, you knew that Augie would show up here and conduct machining seminars and be the bon vivant, and was the 3-time Best of Show winner here. He came to compete as well as to instruct. I had the honor of talking to him in, I think, '88. I had called Oscar Kowaleski and asked him where he thought Augie was, and he said Orange Blossom Hobby in Florida. I picked the phone up, and Augie picked up. He was manager of the train department. He didn't know there was a GSL. He didn't know there was a model car hobby because he had been in trains for 35 years. We became close friends, and he came out, and he started to compete, and again was a 3-time Best of Show winner. We have a photograph in the museum of him and Jim Keeler and Bob Paith and I, which we shot at GSL in 1990, out at the old Airport Hilton. Both Bob and Augie have now left us. But it's one of the most emotional awards that we have. We have the special Augie Award down here, which was inaugurated a number of years ago, and the recipient gets a special clear plexi plate with a machined artifact created by Bob Breslauer, a noted hobby machinist. So the winner for this year, for GSL 24, the Augie Best Machining and Metalwork Award, goes to Greg Nichols for backdraft.
God, it's good to feel small.
Would you bring me the in memoriam list? Thank you. As you know, we have been collecting in the museum the names of modelers who have passed, who are no longer with us. We've been doing this about 16 years now. I will go on the various discussion boards and ask people to post, and people contact me from all over the country. And it is my sad duty, but my pleasure, to keyboard their names onto this list. These are people, many of whom we all know. The list goes back to 1976. And we used to read the entire list, which is now 6 pages in length. Well, we can't read it anymore. It's just too long. But in this context, I wanted to indicate how much the GSL trustees and I enjoy presenting this event for you all in the hobby. This is one of the highlights of our lives. And I think we've created something, not us, but you, have created something very important here, because we've gathered the best ambassadors of our hobby, the smartest builders, the most decent people I've ever met. My best friends come from this hobby, not from my damn profession, but from this hobby. And it's an honor to be associated with all of you and all those who have come before. So I want to give tribute on behalf of the trustees to all of those of you who have supported this event over the years, who have entrusted us with your most precious creations. So thank you very much. I also want to give just a brief moment of personal privilege here, and that is to recognize someone who came to GSL number 2, who was one of my best friends, though we don't speak nearly often enough. But he was one of the early formation influences upon GSL, and I want to give a tip of the hat to Andy Martin, who sits over here. Thanks, Andy, for being here. The in memoriam list will now be read in the future from the last 2 GSLs forward, because we don't read the entire list. So this starts in 2009. When I'm finished reading this list, if we could have a brief moment of silence in honor of these people, and then I'm going to turn the time to co-judges Don Strong and Bob Wick for the presentation of the class awards. John Cunningham, John Eslauer, Chris Loudon, Lee Baker, Reese Gwillem, Carl W. Bonstad, Jr., Joe Tinshert, Russell Overhue, Tom Anderson, Steve Smith, Bud Lefevre, Mike Mays, Tom O'Reilly, Willie Bishop, Michael Scheck, Patrick Barnes, James Bush, Ray Arrington, Paul Maston, Paul McLaughlin, Dave Asper, Larry Alexander, Edward Wright, John Deem, and Floyd Bryant, Herb Hoskins, Winston Mitchell, Gary Long, Ed Ryan, Roger Harris, Martin Swire, David Kolar, Jerry Sims, Michael Doc Dubell, John Dryskansky, Dave Brearley, Kevin Argus, George Totev, Robert Reeder, Bernie Mellinson, Bob Peoples, George Chabelle, Rice Kroskill, Bob Pierce, Marty Sanderson, Dennis Hayden, David Bracken, Ron Merkel, Gordon Fields, Tony Posius, Al Sparling, John Nesbitt, Randy Vandress, Rockland Francis Russo, Fred Weisinger, Jason Scruggs, Daryl Porsche, Chuck Granger, Bill Lastovich, Tom Like, Skip Samples, Edgar Chip Fisher, Bill Eshorn, Lou Croak, Gordon Delks, John Chapman, and finally Ray Parsons just about 2 weeks ago. So please join me for a moment of silence in honor of these people. Thank you very much. It's now my honor to turn the time to my co-judges at GSL, and may I have another moment of personal privilege. Bob Wick and I have been judging this contest for the better part of the last 30 years. And I want to tell you, I've never met a more thoughtful, energetic, hardworking, insightful person as a judge in this hobby. I've judged with a lot of people. And Bob, I want to give you tribute, because you don't get very much of it. And that is, you work hard, and I respect you, and I appreciate your help. This year we had as our third judge, Don Strong. He's returned for his second year in assisting. We have always a third judge that rotates every 2 years so that we have a difference in perspective. It has been a great pleasure to serve with you this year, as it has for prior judges, Greg Nichols, Jim Devine, and others in our hobby. So thank you all. Please give a note of applause to these judges who work very, very hard.
Oh, okay. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, let's
So I just, again, if you missed the presentation that we did at the beginning of the museum seminar, once again, we have created model kits that you build your own award with. Everybody here is fully capable of doing that and doing a neat job. The class and place award is silver and silver. The best of class award is a silver back panel with a dark gold logo panel for that. So that's the awards that you'll be receiving. They come, hang on a second here, in a little Ziploc bag. There's an instruction sheet with it. There are advanced building tips in case you need those. And so that's it, and Don will now read the winners.
Okay, good morning, everybody. If you're ready to get down to business here. All right. Let's get the show on the road. First class, Box Plus. Uh-oh. Obviously wasn't prepared for that. Okay. Let's do Box Plus. There we go. All right. Fourth place, 1950 Ford pickup, Michael Apodaca. Okay. Third place, Ferrari Daytona Coupe, Gary Kulchak. Gary, you might not want to drift away too far here. Second place, 85 Porsche 911 Turbo, Gary Kulchak. Best in class, 1949 Mercury, Ken Leslie. Next class, commercial, military, light duty. Okay. Fourth place, 1937 Ford Doodlebug, Mike Felix. I didn't do that, right? Oh, there it is. Okay, all right, yeah. Third place, Chevy 15 CWT, sorry, Gary Moore. Second place, 1925 Model T Ford tow truck, Alan Loya. And best in class, 1923 Ford delivery van, peddler's truck, Jimmy Harris. Okay, commercial and military heavy duty. Fourth place, M1070, M1000 tractor and trailer, Gary Moore. Third place, 1948 Mack fire engine, Don Barry. Second place, Teresi Dino Drags, John Teresi. Best in class, 1980 Per Squad fire truck, Stephen M. Dunn. Moving on to common kit. Second place, custom silver 57 T-Bird, Larry Naismith. Best in class, replica stock, turquoise, 50. Hmm? Yeah, we're good. Okay. 57 T-Bird, John Bazoo. Competition, circle track and road course. Etzel Kuzma Offie, Mike English. Third place, 28 Miller Indy, Vince Labosco. Second place, Bobby Allison, 75 Matador stock car, John Teresa. Best in class, 1965 Cobra Daytona, Len Woodruff. Competition, drag racing. Fourth place, Witch Doctor dragster, Marty Kirk. Third place, 50 Olds Gasser, Jim Hollywood Fernandez.
I don't need no sneaking and stuff.
Best in class. Why don't I talk into the microphone? Best in class. Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, I'm trying, working real hard at that best in class, aren't I? Second place, Chip King's Sharkmouth Pro Mod, John Teresa. Okay, best in class for the third time. Bad Cracker, Nostalgia Funny Car, Steve Perry. custom class. Fourth place, 1961 Chrysler Freak Show pickup, John Teresa.
This is starting to get boring again, John.
Third place, green and flamed 49 Mercury, Jerry Cardinal. Second place, 49 Mercury Rising, John Teresa. Best in class, Baja Beast, white over red, VW van, Marty Kirk. Diorama class. Michael Schumacher's first win, Steve Mullenkamp. Third place, Arizona Car Wash, Kurt Womack. Did everybody leave a note on that?
Thank you very much.
Second place, Rain Man, Steve Mullenkamp. Thank you. Best in class. Making Memories, Garage Diorama, Jim Hollywood Fernandez. Okay, factory stock. 34 Packard Dietrich, Vince Labosco. Third place, Dodge Challenger convertible, Jim Devine. Second place, 1/16 scale Rolls Royce, 1908 Silver Ghost, Peter Gio. Best in class, 1930 Blower Bentley, John Tracy. Group 13, AMT 49 Ford. Fourth place, Weathered Coupe, John Johnson. Third place, Yellow Coupe, Mike Candelaria. Nice. Second place, Lemon Yellow Coupe, Russell. Best in class, semi-gloss black coupe, Ken Leslie. If I had styled it. Second place, red Dodge Ram VTS, Troy Bentley. Best in class, dark brown Porsche 911 Speedster Turbo, Kurt Womack. Junior class, multiple vehicle diorama, A.J. Hadley. Apparently he's not here. Best in class, Rastarod, funny car, Jacob Perry. Motorcycle. Fourth place, Mad Max Cyclops, John Teresa. Third place, V12 Honda Top Fuel, Andy Martin. Second place, Harley Davidson School Drag Bike, John Teresa. Best in class, custom street bike, Mike English. Replica, Dirt Tricks off-road race car, Pete Strauss. Third place, 68 Camaro funny car, John Teresa.
To do this car, I want to thank Dave Ryberg. He's a really good guy, and I appreciate what he did. Thank you.
Second place, 68 Corvette A Production Roadster, Art Lasky. Best in class replica, Keeling and Clayton front engine dragster, Bill Davis. Small scale, red Ferrari, 187th scale, Ken Leslie. Third place, 98 Dayton Lola, Art Lasky. Second place, Renault RS-01, Simon P. Rivera Torres. Well, you might not, Simon, you might not want to go away. We'll do this again. We can go through that whole thing again. Best in class, red Ferrari, 126C3, Simon P. Specialty class, fourth place, Jeep Renegade CJ7, Trey Bentley. Third place, Olds Boatmobile Cruiser, Kurt Womack. Second place, Cartoon Grand Sport Corvette, Gary Kolchak. Best in class specialty, brass outlaw funny car, Jerry Cardinal. Nice job. Next class, street machine. Fourth place, 1955 Corvette, Don Barry. Third place, 67 Chevelle, Pro Street, Jimmy Harris. Second place, 70 GSX Flip Nose, John Teresi. too quickly back to that far away seat there. Best in class, Italic vet, John Tracy. Street rod, fourth place. Gray and green 41 Willys Coupe, Jimmy Harris. Is this the real Jimmy Harris? Third place, 24 Dodge Dud, Ken Leslie. Second place, 1925 Rat Rod, Vince Labasco. Street Rod, best in class, backdraft roadster, Greg Nichols. And I have completed my duties, and I will turn it back over to Mr. Gustafson. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure again to present for the 24th time the Master Award winners at GSL. For Model's Choice, the model voted best by all of you. We are happy to say this was won by Greg Nichols for his backdraft hot rod. The Master Award for Best Interior this year is presented to John Teresi for his Bobby Allison 1974 Matador. That's not me. Cut it. John, come up here. You still won it. Turn it off. No, we're not going to start over. The Gerald Wingrove Scratch Building Award is presented to the model that exhibits the greatest use of raw materials, of course, in a cohesive format. And for heaven's sakes, this year, I know Gerald would be pleased that this is presented to Greg Nichols for his backdraft. The Best Paint Finish Award this year is presented to a model that might not catch your eye initially, though it might, but when inspected very closely and very carefully, the color use, the perfection of the surface, it was extraordinary. Gary Kulchak for your 1985 Porsche 911 Turbo. No, this is the tour. It's all right. The Best Detail Master Award is presented to the model of the greatest and most sophisticated and subtle use of static detail. And boy, was there static detail in this one. For Best Detail GSL 24, Making Memories, Hollywood Fernandez. Thank you. Many of you know who Dave Shuckless was. As an extremely crippled young man, he built some of the leading pioneer models in our hobby, bent over, leaning on a carpet, with his hands shriveled up, using X-Acto knives like this. He built extraordinary work. It was certainly an inspiration to me when I was a young man. When I talked to his father 25 or so years ago, I asked if we could have the honor of presenting an award in his name to talk about the model best engineered at GSL. We've presented this award since, and we are very happy to say that the Dave Shuckless Engineering Award for GSL 24 goes to Greg Nichols for Backdraft. Yes. Thank you. The Best of Show, of course, is the cream of the cream. Best of Show is chosen only from the first place winners in the best of class in each of the various categories we have. And to top off an incredible range of Best of Show models from 1979 on, the Best of Show for GSL 24 is presented to Greg Nichols for Backdraft. I will now turn the time over to Bob Witt.
All right, well, thank you all for coming, making GSL 24 the success that it's been. Greg, congratulations again on all of your wins. And we expect to see all of you and more back here 2 years from now, GSL 25. Thank you.